What is up, guys? Welcome to Brick Productions. And guys, today Mimban Part 6 is here. Finally, after a month and a half. Mimban has returned, guys. We are back. Mimban is back up and operational. I know you guys have been waiting for so long for this video to come out, and I want to quickly apologize to you guys because when I ended off at part 5, I told you guys that, oh yeah, Mimban's gonna be back in like 3 to 4 weeks, you know, it's just gonna be fine. And it turns out it was a month and a half, and I'm so sorry that it was delayed. And I know probably a lot of you guys have forgotten about this mock and aren't even watching this this video or these videos anymore. So I extremely apologize for that, and I'm going to try to make it up to you guys, but I've got a pretty awesome video for you guys today. A lot of stuff has been added in. We're getting onto the airfield now that I was talking about in previous videos. When I'm referencing this stuff, you guys probably don't even remember half of it because it's been so long ago. But yeah, I'm going to be answering some questions for you guys that you guys have been asking me, you know, over, you know, a month and a half. There's been a lot of questions that have came in. Some of them are just recurring questions, but some of them are actually pretty valid questions. But yeah, so I'm going to be, you know, of course, showing off the new additions I added in. But quickly, before I get on, you know, and showing you guys, I want to quickly just kind of give you guys a disclaimer. So I did move. I'm in Florida now, and you know, like I said, I've got Mimban back up and operational, but, you know, when I show you guys the overview of the mock, there may be some parts that you saw in previous videos that aren't in. Nothing major, really. Nothing like, you know, giant walls or chunks out of the mock, but, you know, it's some minor parts that may be missing or something. So if you guys are just kind of like wondering, you know, why is that, you know, looking that way, you know, that's why, because I went through a move. And my brother, who's Blaine's World, who's also sponsoring this, you know, the series, he picked it up without not telling me, and he dropped the entire mock. And for the most part, it got pretty obliterated. A little bomb dropped Mimban. That's what it looked like. So yeah, that's why there's some parts missing, and I literally can't even find some of the parts. And I have like chunks of walls that are like, that I have just sitting next to me that I don't even know where they go. And somehow the mock is basically built back up. I don't know. Anyways, I'm talking too much here. Let's get on to the video. Alrighty, guys. So yeah, here we go. Here's the new additions to the mock. Not a whole lot, not as much as I wanted to get in, but it's still pretty cool. I got some rock work in, and you guys can kind of pretty well visualize on how this airfield is going to look like. If you guys remember, and I'm going to kind of give you guys another rundown, and I know I've probably showed you guys like twice at least, my plans basically on how this is all going to look. But what's going to happen is, you know, you see this rock work here, it's kind of, you know, like cutting across, but this is going to keep going back, roughly eventually heading back to that seam over there where the other base plate is. And it's just going to cut across. So this whole patch here is going to be this airfield, and this is kind of the start of it. And this airfield is going to have, I'm going to get the AT hauler set. I was going to have a TIE fighter, but I don't know, I kind of want an AT hauler here. And here's a, you know, a question. I think it was Skeptical Bricks who asked me this, and he made like a minifig scale. It was really a UCS AT hauler. It's really cool, actually. He asked me, am I going to do like the you know, am I going to design my own AT hauler? And no, I'm not, because I don't have the time to do that. School is back up and operational, you know, stuff like that. I'm just way too busy to design any vehicles right now, so I'm just going to get the set. The same thing goes for the AT-DT. I know a lot of you guys, you know, when I left off with the series, you guys, you know, my plan was I was going to use the 2016 Rogue One ATST, those legs for the AT-DT, and you guys completely objected to that. You guys were not having it. You guys were like, no, do not do that. And I learned that that is completely out of, like, the Rogue One ATST is completely out of proportion. I don't know what I was thinking. But again, I don't have time to design vehicles. Luckily, there's a YouTuber who designed an ATDT, and it was Lego Provo Bro. And I'm gonna probably use his because it's probably the best ATDT Lego design I have seen. I know a couple of buddies of mine who've already built it. It just looks phenomenal, and I'm pretty sure it's minifig to scale, and I think it just works so perfect for this mock. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna use someone else's design. Of course, I want to give them credit. I'm not gonna be that guy who just steals like somebody's design. That's just pretty crappy. But yeah. So, anyways, those were a couple questions. But here's a new addition. So, like I said, the rock work here. Pretty cool. I'm not 100% happy with the rock work, but I think it gets a job done. I think it looks pretty cool. I personally think the rock work on Ryloth is a bit better, but I think what really makes this cool here is the thing about the Ryloth mock is that the rock work was just kind of straight up and down, and this one kind of like wraps around and stuff, and it's going to continue doing that, which kind of gives it a different look everywhere you look, and it almost kind of mimics really the whole trench idea here where everywhere you look it's different, and I can't believe I accomplished my goal of having every wall different in its own way with different parts being used. I can't believe I accomplished that, but the rockwork's kind of mimicking that really because I'm using some different parts like these wedge slopes here that you see there, and I kind of did it in a different way. I don't think many people do slopes like that where they kind of like put two and two together, but on each of the opposite side, if you get what I'm saying. So I think that's different, really. There's a couple different things in there. It just looks really cool. I think I'm happy with it. Like I said, I'm not 100% happy with it. I think I could have done a little bit of a better job, but I think it's still pretty cool. And then of course we have some of the rock work here, so that's looking pretty nice. And then we have these landing lights, or it's really just these big giant street lights, I guess. But I don't know, I think they may be a little bit too big. You guys can see there. They're a little tall. I don't know how I'm feeling with that. May have to just take it down a little bit. I don't know. But then again, it is an airfield. Airfields have big lights like that. So I don't know. But one of my favorite things about the rockwork, though, is how the rockwork transitions into the terrain. I think it's just really cool because it's a part of the terrain, really. It kind of goes up, it overlaps really, and it just flows. And that's the thing about when I was building this side, I was like, wow, this is really starting to come together now. I mean, look at this, guys. This is all starting to come together. I'm sorry this bag was here. I forgot to pick that up, but I'll put that there. But you guys can see, like, this is all just starting to flow. It's starting to come together. Here's another far away look of it. But it's just so cool. And here's another new addition. This little, like, I don't even know what that is. This little walkway thing, I guess, that kind of steps down. That was the transition I was talking about before I left the series for a good while. Is I didn't really know how I wanted to transition it. So what I did is I just used a light bluish gray plate with a hinge and just kind of tilted it to where it's easy for the soldiers to kind of walk down into the airfield. And I think it just looks really cool. I think it's a perfect transition. Really, I mean, I think this just looks really cool. And here's another thing right here. This is something minor, but this officer, you may notice, is more clean and pristine. His uniform is looking a lot better than the Tobias Beckett minifigure, which I'm going to switch out the heads, but I think that's one there. Actually, here we go. Here's a good one. But you can see that this one's more dirty. It's more his uniform is all messed up. Like I said, it's the Tobias Beckett minifigure, but I am going to change out the heads to each and every one of these figures, so the figures don't look like clones. Like, they don't look like clones fighting this war. But yeah, I think that's another one right there. Actually, that may be a different head. I don't know. But that's another one there. They're going out to fight. But another thing is, in the previous videos, I had a lot of the figures out in the no man's land, and I took them all off and I put them in the trench just because I wanted to see what all the figures look like in the trench, and it's looking pretty cool. I'm probably going to put more figures in the trench, but I don't want to put too many because I don't want it to take away from all the detail of the trench. But enough about the trench, really, because you guys have seen that quite a bit now, and that I think it's just because it's my favorite part, and I just love talking about it. It's just so cool. But I know many people who have seen this mock. They have said, the trench is the favorite part because they could just stare at it for hours because it's just so different, basically. So, but yeah, so that's what's going on. I have some detail stuff here, like this pipe thing that gives it a really cool look. Kind of gives it that air-filled industrial feel. Some canisters. I'm going to put some more canisters. This here is a railway. I've got some more of those pieces, and I think I'm going to use more where they go across to kind of transport cargo and stuff to ships. I think I'm going to use those. I think those came from the one of the Black Panther sets. I don't know how new these parts are. They may have been in the Lego parts collection for a very long time. I don't know, but I know that they're in one of the Black Panther sets, and that's how I got them. But the tile here, if you guys are, some of you guys are long-time Brick Productions subscribers, if you guys remember some of the mocks where I use these tiles, I'm going to use Starkiller Base as an example. That was my very first large-scale mock. But what I did was I used 1x6 light bluish gray plates. Fun fact, these are the same tiles I'm using from that mock. But another thing is that I'd like to talk about is normally what I use with these tiles is that they're just more of, kind of straight across. So it'd be like a 1x6 tile next to that. I wish I kind of had one on me on hand so you guys can visualize. But you guys can just tell by the pictures that I'm showing of Circular Base. But you know what I'm saying, though. Like, they're all like in one line. This is different. This is kind of more giving it a plank look. They're the seams, I guess, that you see right there. They're not in a line really. They're kind of just jig-jagged. So that's what's kind of going on there. It's it's kind of giving it a plate look. I'm using some of these grills here because it gives it more of a detailed look. That's going to run all the way down the airfield. So yeah, but anyways, guys, that's basically the new additions. Of course, I've got some terrain in here, so that's what's going on there. I've got a really cool puddle there with the trans black that I was talking about. And by the way, all these are going to be switched out eventually to trans black. I just don't have the time right now to do that. So that will probably be in the finale video where these are all trans black, and the ATDT will probably. I'm thinking about doing 2 ATDTs actually, but those will probably be in the finale video, same as the AT hauler. Really, just the final stuff to be added in is going to be in it. But next video, my plan is to have the like I said earlier, the rock work to come around and go right here, and then of course have this reddish brown plates kind of and tile kind of come around and just trace that, and then of course the tile. And I'm gonna do this small little hangar, this warehouse kind of in this area, and I may push it back actually even further here just to give me more room to work with. But that's gonna be kind of holding all the cargo and supplies, weapons, food, all that stuff up under the hangar. And there's a part in the movie, I can't remember. I mean, I know where it's at, but I don't know exactly where it's at. But it's where Beckett's crew and Han are kind of talking in front of the hangar, and they're like, Beckett kind of rats Han out or blackmails him really, and is saying that he's an Imperial defector or whatever to the close lieutenant, and that's how he kind of ends up in the Chewbacca pit. So. That's kind of the hangar that I want to do there. If you guys remember that part, I know it's a very small part of the movie, but yeah. And then of course the AT hauler is going to be here. Some more like just cargo, like canisters and just cans and stuff. are going to be kind of scattered around, just random piping or whatever. And of course, I'm going to have some TIE pilots walking around, some extra droids, regular officers. I want to have more Mimban stormtroopers, but it's really tough because these figures are like $14 to $16 on Bricklink. It's freaking crazy, and I just don't know if I have the money to get all those figures. I'm definitely going to have enough figures, guys. Don't worry about that. I'm definitely going to buy them all. But as far as Mimban stormtroopers, I don't know. And, you know, it works because there was a less population of them during the Battle of Mimban, or the campaign of Mimban. There was more of the mud troopers and such. So, yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it for this video. But, yeah, we're back, guys. We're back. We're finally back with Mimban. I'm in a new room now. You guys can see that. I'm actually in the Bricklink store room from my brother. It's interesting because he's sponsoring me, so I literally can just walk over to these bins, get the parts that I need, and then just buy them over there at that table. So it's pretty sweet that I'm in-house at a Bricklink store, and a big one at that. So yeah, guys. So if you guys have any more questions about Mimban, or any speculations or something, and you may be worried about something, please do let me know. If you want to just kind of get in a deep talk with me, the best way to reach me is over on Instagram. I'll have a link in the description down below, and of course I'll have links to all these sponsors. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Brick Productions, signing off.